Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This is a new film from 2023, rated PG with a runtime of an hour and 39 minutes. As of the recording of this video, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 95% from the critics, 92% from the audience. I was able to watch this at an early screening, which really allowed me to think about the film and what I enjoyed about it. But let me give you a quick synopsis here first. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. Their new friend, April O'Neil, helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. This is directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears, written by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and Jeff Rowe. And it stars Micah Abbey as Donatello, Shamon Brown Jr. as Michelangelo, Nicholas Cantu as Leonardo, Brady Noon as Raphael, Jackie Chan as Master Splinter, Ayo Edebiri as April O'Neil, Rose Byrne as Leatherhead, John Cena as Rocksteady, Seth Rogen as Bebop, Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko, Ice Cube as Superfly, and Natasha Demetrio as Wingnut. Natasha was a really interesting surprise. I love what we do in the shadows, and I immediately recognized that voice, even if she does a very good job kind of hiding it that it is her. Um, I really enjoyed this film overall. I think it was a really fun experience. Part of it was that I was at a screening where it was people that wanted to watch the film, so that energy definitely is out there. I think kids are going to really love this film. The animation style, it's just really fun. It's not very refined, or at least it doesn't look very refined, but I think everything that's on there, it's very intentional to give you this feeling of like the world of the sewers and New York being under peril, and then also bring in that mutant quality. I think it tries to do things from, I would say, the point of view of the turtles. Like that's how the turtles perceive the world. There are some times where we see some of the other humans in the movie, the humans that are like just extras or non-named characters, their faces are a little askew. But like humans like April O'Neil, like uh, she's got very defined features and stuff. So I think those were all intentional choices to kind of demonstrate that the more that the turtles meet these humans, the more normal they're gonna look, or at least the more like their features are gonna be more. As we would see them as a normal person. So it's not only the humans seeing the mutants as mutants, but I think it's also vice versa. So that was a really interesting touch. This film is very colorful. I think the thing I like the most is that in a lot of the films, the turtles are definitely portrayed as great ninjas, but they're not always portrayed as teenagers. Like in this film, not only do they sound like teenagers because they're being voiced by young actors, like very young actors, they also behave like teenagers. They talk like what I would imagine teenagers sound like nowadays. Obviously, this is being written by adults, but hopefully, like throughout the voice recording and all that with the directors, maybe they got some feedback from these young actors saying like that's nothing. That's nothing we would ever say or something like that. There's a really fun bit about like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich that I don't know. It just feels like one of those. Sometimes you stumble into one of those weird TikToks that just went viral for the very weird reason, like something that like teenagers would grab a hold of. I thought that was really funny. Like they really used that bit for a while. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was great. And the animation just has a really fun new approach. Great character design. All the turtles and all the mutants and really everyone that's a named character has a very distinct look. I will say Splinter was not my favorite look. I think there's a little bit of a departure from the source material in Splinter's backstory, although his backstory is kind of often very convoluted. Um, there's a lot of really interesting references. You can kind of tell that the people behind the film, like Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, like they do a lot of comic book properties. Either whether they produce them or star in them or they help bring them to the screen. And you could tell that everyone behind this film was just they're fans of the Turtles. They each have their own like generation. There's little Easter eggs, little homages. I really love all the mutants. They definitely look. Some of them look really, really weird and sometimes even disgusting. Like Bebop and Rocksteady, they just look uh, like really gross in the best way possible, if I can say that. Um, One of my other complaints is that I feel like Ice Cube, his voice performance was just him being Ice Cube, where it wouldn't be a problem if he wasn't such a big part of the film. So I don't know. I think that combined with the fact that he is the main antagonist, just made me really didn't enjoy his performance as much. Like for all the other, all the rest of the mutants, the rest of the cast, I think they do a great job because they really interact. I think Mondo Gecko was probably one of my favorites, who's voiced by Paul Rudd. He has a really interesting relationship with the turtles, and of course, I think they did my boy Donatello right. Donatello's my favorite turtle personally, and I just really feel like every line of dialogue, everything that he did throughout the film, really felt to me like a like Donatello original. Like that's what he would really do. Just based on all the cartoons and the comics and the old movies and stuff like that. So, but I think they captured that with all the turtles, right? Ralph is the hothead guy. Uh, Michelangelo is the goofy guy, and Leonardo, of course, learning to be a leader, which is some like I like that throughout this film. He really is growing, right? I think the film is, I would say, in a very big part about him growing as a leader, as the leader of the turtles. I think the character of April O'Neil is also very well done and very well adapted. As this, she's also a teenager, which makes sense that they age her down to be the same age as the turtles, kind of. Um, and she's not the most popular kid in school, and I think that's kind of cool because she's a bit of an outcast, kind of like the turtles are, and that gives them something to relate to each other. So I really like the arc of how they help each other grow, and get to what they think they want, but also to what they really want. So their relationship is all based on helping each other, even if they don't know exactly what they want. As I mentioned, all the mutant stuff is really cool. There's some really fun action scenes. I think they're very well choreographed. For animation, you can really stretch the boundaries of what you can do in a fight. So this movie, just like I said, it was a lot of fun. I feel like this thing is gonna make a lot of money. As of the recording of this video, they've already announced that there's gonna be a sequel to this film, as well as a new series on a streaming service. So like the fact that there's so much confidence in the success of this film even prior to the release, because I'm recording this a few days before the movie is actually released worldwide, or at least in the US. That's got to tell you something, right? So I don't think this film is perfect. I just think the film is a lot of fun. And I think if you're a fan of the Turtles, you're going to be satisfied. Of course, make sure to stay tuned. There is an end credit scene after the credits that will definitely set things up for the future, which also, once again, a lot of fun. So, yeah, I really had a good time with this one. And I hope that we can keep the same voice actors to make sure, sometimes these teenagers grow out of their voice. So, we'll see what happens there in the future. But if they can recapture the feeling of this one in the future, I think I feel really good about this franchise going forward. So if you have seen this film, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.